You wanted the best. Well, they retired. So you got two dudes in a garage.
Talking KISS.
Welcome to the Hooligan Nation, a KISS-Centric podcast. I'm Anthony.
I'm Rocco.
I'm Black Diamond Dave.
The unholy trinity is back together. Ah, I feel complete. Do you guys feel
too.
complete?
This is home.
Yes.
You two complete me. Welcome to our version of As the KISS World Turns, where we discuss KISS current events, rumors, news, and interviews with current and past members. Strap in, crank it up, and let's talk KISS. Father Rocco. Oh, thank you. Oh. It's the guy we got in the basement tied up.
That's for Black Diamond Dave.
That is you. You are
That's
Black
me.
Diamond Dave. At least until we're done filming, and then you can go back and be whoever you want to be.
Bowden.
Lots to talk
Just a
about.
good old boy.
Never
Never meaning no harm.
It's all you ever saw. Been in trouble with the law
Since the day they were born. Yeah. Making their ways
Oh,
the only
shit.
way they know how.
That's just a little bit more than the law
The
will
law will
allow.
allow. Oh, shit.
I'm a good old boy.
Oh my God.
I'll be back.
Oh, I used to love that show, man.
Oh, it's a great show. I'm happy I found a niche.
Absolutely.
Am I supposed to still be singing when he comes back?
I don't know. Oh, wait, there you go.
Okay, can we do this over again?
Oh my
Wow,
God.
Okay. There you go.
I'm
One
Bo.
more time. Take a down, take a down, 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 take a down, take a down.
Oh God.
No?
Oh my God, I can't breathe.
Did you get that at the place in Vegas?
No. No, I don't know.
Bring that back on a plane, see how that goes.
I collect stupid Raider things in hopes that they're going to actually win someday. But, you know, I heard that they're going to interview John Harbaugh today and Mike Tomlin tomorrow and make them co-head coaches. It's a
I
great.
heard
idea.
the Giants got a shot at Harbaugh. I'm hoping. Here's hoping. And McCarthy. Harbaugh or McCarthy, I heard.
Oh, I like.
Oh, not McCarthy.
No, I like the McCarthy thing. I like Harbaugh better.
I like
think,
Harbaugh
but-
better.
Yeah.
Wait, this is a KISS podcast, right?
Yeah, but if they get Harbaugh, I may actually start paying attention to the Giants a little more now.
It's a KISS-Centric podcast.
This is a KISS podcast, and we started it out by singing a country song, and then we moved into the Giants coaching situation. Well, schizophrenic much?
We got a little something for everybody.
Oh, we got a little something for everybody, that's for sure. You hear that, Vinny? AKA Silky Road.
Oh, no, I've been fighting that all week, you son of a gun.
Did I call him out just now? Oops.
We just want to talk. That's it.
We just want to listen, and
It'll be
then
fair
we want
balance.
to talk.
Come on down.
Fair.
I thought it was funny as hell for all the hooligans out there. As soon as we got done filming last week, we talked real quick about what we were going to do for this week's segment, and we were going to do which we've had on the back burner for like months. We were going to do a segment on the KISS Museum because all three of us have been to the KISS Museum, and we were like, oh, you know, we've been sitting on this. Let's plan on doing that. And we literally got off and we all went about our business. And it was, I think, less than an hour later, Dave sends both of us this interview and is like, oh my God. And I immediately turned it on and everything changed, which
Right.
it happens a lot, especially on this podcast. Like, it's like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And something comes out and it's like, oh, this is so much better. We got to talk about this. We should have jumped on right then. Because if we would have jumped back on right then, you would have gotten, at least from me, you would have gotten like the 4-year-old dirty diaper take on what Gene said. I don't know why, but when Gene says something, I lose my mind, like when anybody says anything stupid. But for some reason with Gene, it keeps going down and I keep finding excuses for him. And I'm like, oh, well, it's Gene being Gene. It's not Gene's fault. Gene can't help himself. And I don't do that with anybody else. Like literally no one else, celebrity or non-celebrity. It's like I turn into you. I'm the optimist.
Yeah, but because you're known as an ass doesn't mean that you get an excuse when you use that lane.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, how many times have I tried to like stick up for Gene, and then he says something, and I feel like an idiot for freaking defending him? Like, and I've said it before on the podcast. There's certain things that are inexcusable, and I'll never stand up for somebody I followed or supported forever, and not call him out when he does something stupid.
Did he do something stupid recently?
Absolutely.
Did he?
Absolutely.
All right, for those hooligans out there that do not live and breathe everything that Gene does, last week, I think it was Tuesday, the Professor of Rock, who has a YouTube channel, a wildly popular and very good YouTube channel,
fan.
by the way.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
good stuff.
He did an interview with Gene Simmons, and I think he innocently brought up Beth, and he said all the wrong things to say to Gene. The band's biggest hit, the award winning. He said all the wrong things, and boy, the light switch went on in our little demon's head, and he just had to unload. And I have this in my notes, and I try not to bring this kind of stuff up as much as possible, but I used to be a cop. Thank God it used to be, but I used to be. And I don't know, Father Rocco, Dave, I don't know whether you guys know this, but in reality, to really train a cop how to investigate something, you need to really teach him one thing only, and it takes like 5 minutes. Who, what, when, where, and why. That's it. That is, like, I'm literally, if there's any cops that watch our podcast, drop it in the comments below. They know exactly what I'm saying. If you interview someone, doesn't matter whether it's a lost dog, it's a murder, it doesn't matter what it is. You interview somebody, you want to know the who, what, when, where, and why. Well, I have good news for you too. We can skip the who, the what, the where, and the when. I just want to know why.
Yeah.
What's the point?
I don't get it either. What's he get out of it at this point?
Right. I mean, just why? Hello, Gene? Hi, Gene. I just want to know why. I don't care about the rest. I just want to know why. Why do you feel the need? Why do you think that anybody cares? Because I don't think anybody cares. Like, I had to put a whole poll up. I put a poll up. And did I put a poll up? Is that next week's poll? Or is it the poll I put out today?
Not the one you did today.
No,
It's got to be next week then.
Well, little foreshadowing. Next week's poll is, does anybody really care? I can't figure out. And look, I'm sure Bob Ezrin might care. I'm sure Stan Pendridge might care. But why would anybody else care? Gene didn't lose any money. Paul didn't lose any money. If anything, they
If
gained
they're-
tons
yeah,
of money.
Absolutely.
If it was coming from Bob Ezrin, I would still call him a baby, and it's sour grapes. If it was Stan Pendrich is dead, but if it was coming from Stan Pendrich, I would say the same thing, but I could understand a little bit.
Right.
The fact that it's coming from Gene doesn't make any sense at all. I reference this all the time, and I probably should stop, but I won't. I was listening to Eddie Trunk, I think end of last week, and Eddie Trunk was talking about, I can't remember who it was. Somebody wrote a song, and they wanted Ace to release the song, and Ace agreed to go hear the song or something. And it was back in the days when Eddie Trunk was his A&R guy, and he came back and he said, I like the song, but I'm not covering the song unless I get a writing credit. And what Eddie Trunk said is that's like, it's a business move that a lot of artists make.
It
And
goes back to Elvis.
well,
yeah.
somebody who never wrote their own songs, but nobody ever nobody. What do fans care? Like, why?
No.
I don't understand. Why would anybody even bring that up? Like, Dave, here's a crazy question for you.
Mhm.
Do you listen to any rap or hip hop?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you ever look at who writes those songs?
Oh, it's always somebody different.
But there's
Ghostwriters.
there's like 25 people usually
Right.
that are getting a songwriting credit. And I still argue, and I think I said this off camera to you guys last week. If Peter came up with one word, it counts.
That's how songwriting credit works.
Right.
So
Gene in the Bridge from Cold Gin.
are you telling me that Peter had, I mean, Gene said it like 15 times. He had absolutely nothing to do with the writing of that song. So you're telling me he 100% didn't put a word in. And if he didn't, I just fall back to, why do any of us care? And look,
Well, and let's fall back to Gene. Gene, what did you contribute in the song? Nothing. So shut up.
right. He didn't contribute anything.
Say
and
thank you and walk away.
Was he
Just say
there when
thank you.
Chelsea put it together?
Right. Just say
How would
thank
he
you.
know if he wasn't there?
And well, that was kind of,
That's hearsay. Otherwise,
I mean, the way he started the interview, well, the way he started the whole Beth thing, I was like, something's wrong here, because he said Peter's humming the song in the limo, and I'm like, well, doesn't that count? And I watched it like 3 times, and I guess it doesn't necessarily count. But I was trying to say this to you too, and I don't think I finished it before we started recording. Do you two know the only difference between Peter not writing a song and Gene not playing bass on a song?
an award.
No, because Gene, if they would have won an award, Gene would have went up there and accepted the award, because it says bass player and vocals Gene Simmons on all of their records.
Hmm.
All those guys that played bass, and it's only the guy, I think, from Eric Carr played bass,
Mhm.
Ace played bass, and who's the guy that we can never pronounce his name from the Plasmatic?
Beauvoir.
Beauvoir.
Jean Beauvoir.
Jean Beauvoir.
Wow, I finally said it right.
Yeah, man.
Let's go.
Wow.
Good job. He played bass on like 1, 2, or 3 different records. He's
Yeah.
never gotten any credit for that. There's only one difference between Gene not playing bass and Peter not writing the song. and that's money. That's the only difference.
I look at it this way. I mean,
If Gene doesn't play bass on a song, he doesn't make any more money or lose any money. By Peter getting a writing credit, he makes more money. And that seems to bother Gene.
well, that's how Gene keeps score. That is how he keeps score.
Jeez.
It's ridiculous, though.
But if you really break this stuff down, this is like 10-year-old childish stuff.
But if you bring it at its simplest form, right? It's who brings the song to the table. Like if you, and Dave are in a band, and I'm humming a song, and we put stuff together based off of the hum, drums and all that stuff. I should get the credit because I'm a lot of the credit because I'm the one who brought it to the table, and then it's collaborative.
Well, he sang this. He brought the song to the band. He sang the song. Give him a writing credit. Don't give him a writing credit.
I think the timing is actually
Who cares?
pretty. I think it's had a lot of intent. I think Gene was looking for an opportunity because Peter just put this album out to throw some shade. Hey, listen, don't think too much of the album because he doesn't write the music.
Couldn't agree more.
But I don't look. You two both are way more of musicians than me. So does that mean something? Because I can honestly tell you it means nothing to me.
You don't even have to put it towards music projects. You could do it towards projects. If I bring something that's the actual idea for the project and the project does fantastic, it's the person gets the credit for who brings the idea, and then it's collaborative. So it's still, it doesn't make it could be music, it could be songs.
No, but what I'm saying is, do fans pay attention to that?
When it's Elton John, when it's somebody who's known as a songwriter.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right? Lionel Richie's known as a good songwriter.
With Gene, though, the difference is we don't see the world the way Gene does. It's perspective.
That's true.
Gene sees your wallet. Gene sees your power. Gene sees your success. And that's strictly what he seems to measure people off of, in my opinion.
And it's a shame. That's why you got to take the good and the bad with these guys, because there's a lot of stuff to not like at times.
But what's the three things that you brought up? Your wallet, your power,
and your success. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Peter's wallet is doing better.
Not as big as Gene's.
No, but it's doing better since the new record came out.
Mm-hmm.
The new record is clearly a success.
It's great.
And I think Peter is a powerful and attractive man right now. Does that mean that Gene feels the need to beat him down because of it?
Gene has to knock him back down.
Well, how many times do you think Gene's hearing these days, hey, man, Peter's album is really good?
Probably eats him up.
A lot, I hope.
Yeah,
I hope a lot. Just because of the reaction of it.
It was classless. It was very classless.
Yeah, I mean, I say this over and over again. Like, they won. Gene and Paul won, hands down. I don't even think Peter would even deny that.
No.
And if Peter wanted to deny it, I have a feeling his bank account wouldn't allow him, because he ain't sitting on $500 million.
He's in a good place. He don't even care. He's in a good place.
But I'm just saying that, like, Gene and Paul won. Why do you have to stoop to that level? Like, Gene could have said, oh, Beth, oh my God, what a great song. It was our first ballad. It was a beautiful song. 50 years later, we had to have somebody go out there every night and sing the song. Why not?
That's what should have been said. Absolutely.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I could understand if Gene was poor and was mad because, like, he made all the wrong decisions, but he made all the right decisions financially, and he ended up to win. So if you win, why do you have to stoop to that level?
Sore loser.
Like I said, I look at it like if I'm Gene Simmons, I should be like, hey, look, man, our cat man at 80 years old still kicking ass out there. That's the way it should have been.
Right.
I mean,
I said this earlier. It's fortunate and unfortunate, but You will never hear anybody speak about Peter Criss and say the words Peter Criss and only. It is always going to be Peter Criss of KISS,
Mm-hmm.
Gene Simmons of KISS. You hear it, not to pick up, not to pick on anybody else, but you don't hear Vinnie Vincent of Vinnie Vincent Invasion. You hear Vinnie Vincent of KISS.
Right.
That's who he is, whether anybody likes it or not. So every time you say something good about Peter Criss, every time anybody says anything about Peter Criss, it's free marketing and promotion
Correct.
for KISS.
Right.
Correct.
That's probably putting more money in Gene's pockets.
But
Why would you beat that up?
I think in his distorted head, he wants to always be thought of as Paul and Gene being the brains of the outfit. I think
Paul and
that's where it
Gene
comes
were
from.
the brains of the outfit.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Is anybody
any-
arguing
but
that?
no, but it's gluttonous, right? He's got to get his flowers no matter what. And if all of a sudden somebody's taking a little of those flowers away, he's got to grab them back again. I think that's just the way his brain. That's the way his mind works.
You know, the only,
I don't agree with it, but
today,
Yeah,
the
no,
only
you're right.
way I can talk about that is like the other podcasters out there that treat this like a competition.
Mm.
It's the same kind of thing. It's not a competition. We all have different opinions. So it's not a competition. They don't know what we're going to say. We don't know what they're going to say. And really, neither of us are wrong. I mean, shit, I called Father Rocco earlier today, and I really called him because I just thought this was funny. Three Sides of the Coin came out with a new podcast today, and it was reviewing Peter's new album. And I put it on, and I think I listened to like 10 minutes of it. And within the first 10 minutes, I think it was Tommy said that he loved the Peter Criss 78 solo album. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. Got to hear this again. And I listened to him talk for a couple minutes, and I did it to myself again and was like, oh, I'm going to try it again. And it worked out pretty good. I put Peter Criss's solo album on, and I got as far as that's the kind of sugar that Papa likes. That was the point where, but I'm gonna love you. You matter. I've always liked You Matter to Me.
I like that song.
Tossing and turning and Don't Let Me Down. Yo, right now I have Don't You Let Me Down.
Don't you let me down.
It's in my head.
I like the Beatles version. Don't let me down.
Why you got to bring the Beatles into this?
It's not
that's a
even
good
the
song.
same.
Don't
It is a
let me
great song on
down.
the rooftop. Oh, so good. But anyway, yeah, no, Peter's 78 album rules. Happy you coming around slowly.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it, dude. It's been a long time since I listened to it. But
I'm telling you, like I kind of think that Peter's new solo album changed my listening to the 78 one, because from the moment that they brought up that Peter was going to put out a new album, it was like, oh my God, we can't have expectations. That the expectations are going to let us down. And I went into that album with really no expectations. And when I put the 78 solo album on today, I just feel like I wasn't looking for Peter Criss of KISS. I was listening to Peter Criss, period. And it changed the listening experience a little bit, at least for me.
I guess I could probably listen to it again. I mean, I do appreciate a lot of different kind of music, so I guess I could listen to it again. But I never was able to get past you. You Matter to Me. I like a lot, but there's really not much else I really liked on the album.
That's so crazy to me.
Yeah.
I always love that album.
I don't know. Love's a very strong
I
word.
love
No,
Peter
I
Criss,
love
so
it, but
I'll
I
give it
don't
another
see
shot.
I don't see it as a KISS album though. That's the difference.
And I think that's most of the problem, especially for me, that I've had since the first time I heard it, is I was looking at Baby Driver, Getaway, Hooligan, Black Diamond.
But do you see the Gene album as a Kiss album? Because I don't see that one as one either.
No, that's not a good
No.
album either, in my opinion.
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Those are the
But-
two albums I've
but-
listened
but
to.
I'm-
The Ace and Paul ones are definitely Kiss albums.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You know what? I think part of the problem with Peter's album too is because, like you said, Hooligan, Baby Driver, Hard Luck, like those are songs that are so good that you're
Mhm.
excited and you're like, I want some more of that on an entire album of just Peter, and you don't get it at all.
No.
No.
It would have been awesome though. You're right.
Yeah.
Just one. Just one. You know, you brought up the solo albums. For me, like, I don't kill Gene's 78 solo album like I kill Peter's. And there is one reason for that. Radioactive. That's the one reason. Because Radioactive, to me, could have been a Kiss song.
That's a good song.
Definitely.
I like it.
And
Definitely.
that's why. So I think Gene gets a pass because of that, which makes me think that if Peter on his 78 album would have thrown one getaway hooligan type of song, maybe at least for me, maybe I would have been like, oh, okay. And look, I think that's what he did a couple times over on this new solo album. Is number one, he was smart enough that he put Creepy Crawlers out first. Everybody, universally.
Great song. Yeah.
Mhm.
But everybody says the same thing. Oh, it's an Alice Cooper song. Oh, it's an... Yeah, yes, it is very similar to like Alice Cooper. Yes, I'll agree with that, but who cares? It was a hard rock song, and I think that warmed, at least for me, that warmed me up for the rest of the album, where the rest of the album could have sucked, and I would have just hung on to Creepy Crawlers and been happy with it. And fortunately, the rest of the album hasn't sucked.
Yeah, I mean, the only, like I said, the only disappointment, I really like the album. The more I listen to it, the more I like it. The only disappointment is, and it's never going to happen, is the raspy voice. Like, I like that version of Peter so much. There's not, like, I look at almost every song he did when he was in Kiss as a high tier song. You know what I mean? Getaway is probably my least favorite of the Kiss songs that he did.
Okay.
But every one of those, Hooligan, Black Diamond, I mean,
Mainline.
Mainline.
Oh,
like,
Mainline.
maybe mainline, and yeah, but they're all good songs because I love his voice so much.
Me too.
Mainline is I know what you were gonna say. Mainline reminds me of Getaway, and Getaway reminds me of Mainline.
Yeah, they're kind of very similar.
See, but I like both of those.
I like them both too.
I like both of them. I mean, they're not. No, they're not.
They're not top
They're
tier
not
like
at the
other ones,
top.
but they're still good. They're still really good.
Right.
Dirty Living. We didn't even. Oof.
Dirty Living, I love that song.
That's
Yeah,
one of my favorite Kiss songs ever.
I like it
A
too.
little too much disco for me. But
There's so many references to Kiss in that song, though, for that to be his last song in the band. Oh, so good.
all right, let's get back to Gene. Is this just Gene being Gene, or
it makes
is
me
this a
respect-
problem?
It makes me respect him less because it's a classless move, just like he did with the Ace thing. There's no need for it. Like, it's one thing if you feel a need and there's actually a reason to throw it out there. There was no need or reason whatsoever except for selfish reasons.
Sour grapes.
Right.
That's the
And-
only
and
reason
that's-
that I can come up with.
Yeah. And it's a classless move.
Honestly, it gets us talking. I
It
think
does
that's
get us
his. I
talking.
think that's his mindset at this point. He'll drop a little line like that in every interview, and we'll come on here and bitch about it.
So in a way, do you guys think he's happy about it? About us talking about it?
Well-
About us taking it the way we're taking it?
Well, that's what I was gonna.
He
that's,
probably giggles to himself. Yeah.
that's the question I was gonna ask. I understand that the thought is no press is bad press,
Mhm.
but at some point in your career, it's like this is the best way I can do this. It's like football players. Almost every football player that played in like the 80s and 90s and before, in some point in an interview, they will say something like, well, the game has changed so much.
Mhm.
And that is them saying, and this is just my opinion, but in my opinion, that is the player saying, you couldn't have played when I played. Like Patrick Mahomes, yes, you are all world, but nobody's trying to take your head off
Right.
and being rewarded for it. But that's all they say is they say, oh, well, it's not the same game or the game has changed or something like that. Gene has to come straight out and throw punches. And I don't understand what the point of that is. It peeves me and I'm miffed by it at this point.
And you know what? Peter takes the high road. Like I said, he's the one that turned out to be the adult in the room.
And that's what I was going to say next. Do you think it's because he knows Peter's just not going to jab back? Peter doesn't want to anymore.
It's not worth it.
Well, right now, Peter doesn't have to.
Right.
I mean, Peter can say, and this is true, the only song that KISS ever put out that won an award was sung by Peter Criss. He doesn't really owe anybody anything, and it was sung by Peter Criss. Look, do I believe that Peter did not put anything into the song? I just don't believe it. It just, I mean, I can only talk for me. That's like me saying to you two, hey, do everything for the podcast, and I'll just show up when we have to film. That's not who I am. And maybe Peter is, but you mean to tell me that somebody handed Peter a song and he didn't go, oh no, well maybe we should change this word, or maybe we should change this verse, or, I mean, Gene says
it was Beck, wasn't it? It was Beck originally, right?
Right, and that's what makes the most sense. I mean, that's where part of this comes from for me, is that Gene had enough sense, and I agree with him, that Beck stops, Beth flows.
Right.
So it's 100% that Peter like didn't have any thoughts like that. Like I've heard from Bob Ezrin that, you know, he wanted all these classical instruments and he wanted a certain sound and he did a lot of the arrangement. But I've never heard Bob Ezrin say, well, I did this, but he didn't do anything, or this one didn't do anything, or like you can build yourself up without beating the next guy down.
Well
It
said.
doesn't seem like Gene can do that. I mean, Gene could always say, well, you know, I have When You Wish Upon a Star. Gene, did you write that? What's the difference? He didn't write that. Does anybody care?
No.
Who cares?
Well, like I said, this has more to do with intent. I think he was looking for a platform because of Peter's album to do that. I think this was not like an accidental thing that came out of Gene's mouth. The Ace thing, I think, may have been an accidental, like he threw out a certain way and maybe he was kind of talking about the past and it came out. I still don't excuse it, but I think that may have been more of a slip of the tongue. There was intent on this.
Well, I agree with you completely that I don't know that Gene's intent was to like piss every Ace Frehley fan off.
Yeah, I definitely don't think.
No.
I mean, he successfully did it, but
And
I
he
don't
owns
think
it.
that was his intent. And you said this last week, I think, and I didn't say anything, but I do agree with you. He was trying to say, I believe this, he was trying to say something like it's a shame that Ace isn't here,
Right.
except he just can't stop.
He took
So-
the long way.
Right.
Right.
And then he's got to throw in the who falls down the stairs and the ongoing issues, trying to say, you know, I don't even know what he was trying to say. I mean,
didn't
Told you,
either.
it makes him sound like he has Alzheimer's.
He really
He's
didn't
losing his
either. That
mind.
I mean, I don't know where you were going. Number one, and this is on the same. The only reason why I'm bringing this up is because this is kind of the same thing. Are there any Ace Frehley / Kiss fans out there that if the toxicology report came back and let's say he had alcohol in his system, would that change anything?
No,
I mean,
I'd be
would it
sad.
change
I'd be a little
anything
I'd be
for
sad.
crushed,
anybody?
but yeah, but
I'd
no,
be
I'd still
sad,
love
but
it. I'd
no,
be
I still
crushed.
love the dude, man. Yeah, I'd be sad, but that's it.
But that's it. Like, would you look at Ace any differently in death because, oh, he fell off the wagon?
No, if
I mean,
anything,
look,
it's a testament to still powering through that, still having a career.
Right.
That's impressive in some ways too, man.
sure. I mean,
Tragic.
addiction is addiction, and it can come back.
Mhm.
And look, I've said this countless times, and I'll say it again. I don't think he fell off the wagon. I
I
don't.
don't think so either.
I don't either.
But if he did, it wouldn't change how I felt about him. It wouldn't change how the music sounded. It wouldn't change anything. Why would Gene think that the fact that Peter didn't write and look, it has never been said, oh, Peter wrote the song. It has always been Peter, Stan Pendrich, and Bob Ezrin. It's not like he was the sole songwriter.
Right. It was always known that he had collaboration.
Right. So what are you, like, where are you going with it? You're not going, I just look, if you're a hooligan, if you're not a hooligan and you stumbled upon this and you know what we're talking about, if the fact that Peter may not have wrote the song, if that counts to you, please put it in the comments below. And if anybody beats you up for it, I'll stick up for you because I'm asking you, because I do not think there is one Kiss fan out there that thinks that it makes a difference. I don't think it's one.
From following music as long as I have, there's different ways to write songs, different ways to write music. There's people that sit in a room all together and they throw out ideas, and there's people that have ideas they do on their own and they bring it to the table. Like if three people had credits on that song, then three people are involved in the song. That's it. Period. Peter sings it, so people know that it's Peter's song because Peter's the one to put his stamp on it vocally.
Sure. I mean, we could just go on. I mean, we could go on for literally months with artists that covered somebody else's song or didn't write their own songs. And at the end of the day, who cares?
How many artists are like, man, we need a hit. Let's go find Desmond Child.
Ozzy Osbourne,
Right.
Ultimate Sin, that whole album he didn't write, and I love
And
that
it's
album.
a killer
But
album. I love
Jakey
that
Lee
album.
wrote that whole thing for him while he was in rehab.
Every album, it is,
Great
it
album.
is, I thought it was well known. Ozzy did not write songs.
Right.
I mean, there's a whole
If I'm being
history.
honest, I didn't know that till recently, within the last year.
There's
I
a
really didn't know
whole,
that. And
there's
it
a
didn't really
whole
matter to
dirty.
me,
No, not at all.
it mattered to Jake.
Well, it mattered to Jake because he didn't get paid for
Right.
it, and
No,
I
I know. I'm just making
understand
fun.
that.
Geezer.
Yeah.
Right, Geezer, Bob Daisley, like all these
Oh,
guys
Bob
have had
Daisley.
issues with, and they've had issues with Sharon because they didn't get paid for it.
Mhm.
Like you can watch and listen to interviews where people, I think it was Geezer Butler said, Ozzy would come in and say, maybe we should switch this word for this word. But that was like Ozzy never came in and had an entire song written. He never wrote lyrics to where he had all the lyrics. He would add things sometimes. Well, to me, that counts.
Right.
It counts unless you're trying to say, I wrote this song all by myself. That's different. You're trying to take away credit from someone else to get credit. If you say, I've been thinking about this title, Bark at the Moon, and Jakey Lee goes, that's great. I'll be back tomorrow, and comes back with everything for Bark at the Moon. Well, yeah, Ozzy should get some credit for it. I don't know how much.
Is Paul credited on Christine 16 now that you say that?
I was thinking the same lane. I was thinking
As
about
soon as you said that, I thought about that.
because Gene and Paul had
The
that
story he told.
competition. Yeah.
The story he told on the podcast. Oh, Gene, you're about to be a hypocrite.
Christine 16, written by Gene Simmons.
Oh, Gino. How are you going to talk about that in the interview? What an ass. You can't even make this shit up. What an ass.
You're so right. You can't even make it up. That's amazing to me. Like, and these guys do this shit with a straight face.
That's why they call it schlepping.
I think
Gene, do better. Just do better, dude.
Gene, do better. Yes. You won. Act like a winner. Act like a human being.
My whole thing, and
treat Peter, and we would have said something about this also, but treat Peter like he's your little friend. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You could have said things like, oh, what's this, like his 5th solo album? Well, good for him. He finally got it right. I would have been okay with that because there's some truth in that.
Mm-hmm.
And I can understand why maybe somebody would say that. But when you choose to pick on one of the most epically popular KISS songs in the history of the band, and make no mistake, folks, it's a KISS song. Like, you're putting down your own product.
Right. That's my biggest argument from the very beginning. I'm like, at the end of the day, you made 4 iconic characters. They should always be celebrated. Anytime anybody does anything positive, it should be celebrated. Anytime anybody needs support, you should be throwing it that way. That's stupidity to me. That's pure stupidity. You're throwing tomatoes at your own KISS sign.
Whoa.
What'd I say?
Whoa.
What'd I say?
Every time you say one of those words,
I didn't say the F word. Did I?
I didn't hear it.
I said freaking, I thought.
No,
yeah,
you
I didn't.
said the F word, and now I'm going to put a squeaky toy in there.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Word of the day.
I'm just saying, it's like throwing tomatoes at your own sign. It's like denigrating your own sign. Like,
right.
You guys created something that lasted over 50 freaking years. You have a fan base that nobody can come near. Nobody. How many podcasts does Led Zeppelin have?
None that I can find.
How many does the Beatles have?
I'm not looking, but none that I can
battle
find.
with. I love all those bands, but I can battle with every single one of them saying, you ain't got. You can't sniff the KISS Army.
Amen.
Well, I wouldn't want to sniff the KISS Army, but
you're taking a little
hey,
there.
you do what you got to do on your own time. If you want to go around sniffing KISS fans,
somebody's always got to take it and try to dig in and take it.
You take that horizontal garage door vaginal opening that you have, and you sniff it up with it.
It's scratch and sniffing there, huh?
Yeah. Before we skedaddle out of here, can you hit the squeaky toy for us?
Well, hold on. We also didn't talk about how he made enemies with everyone that's ever played the drums.
Gene says drums are not an instrument.
Right.
Now, look, in Gene's defense, I had to look up definitions. And it's not as black and white in Webster's as much as Gene put it.
Mm-hmm.
But it also doesn't say that drums are a musical instrument. But we will have a certain drummer on soon, and that will get brought up. If you're listening to us on any of the podcast platforms, please leave us a review. And if you just found this, check out our past episodes. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel and you like this episode, please consider hitting the like button, just like them guys, and leaving us a comment. Hit that subscribe button, just like them guys, so you don't miss any future episodes. And check out these episodes right here. As always, if you made it this far, thank you for supporting us. And don't forget, we should all lead with love and take care of each other. Peace out, Hooligan Nation.